Recruiter here to review your resumes to help you get ahead of your job search. The resume we have up first is a garbage data analyst resume. And I know that because of the note that they told me. They said, "Hey Lee, that's my name. Hope you're doing well. Really love what you're doing. Thanks for everything that you're doing to help people make their profiles better for a job search." Thank you. I've tried out the form for the resume review, but didn't want to be missed. So I've been applying for the past 3 months for a data analyst, data engineer, and analytics engineer, and I've gotten 0 callbacks applications. The application count would have crossed over 150 applications without a single interview, which is how you can tell if your resume is good or garbage. If your resume gets 1 interview per 50 applications you send, and an interview in this case counts as meeting with a real person. If it's an AI generated one, doesn't count. If you're meeting with a real person, even for 5 minutes, that counts as an interview. And if your ratio is 50 applications to 1, it's actually pretty solid. That's a C- resume, right? Like, it could be better, but it does pass. But anything above 50 applications to 1 interview is a bad resume. And when people follow my methods, they get a 1 application rate to 7. So 7 applications to 1 interview. That's what you can get by following my method. So this is a terrible resume because it takes them over 150 applications to get 0 interviews. And let's find out why this is bad and how to fix it so that they can get a job, because a channel where I just make fun of resumes is not a good channel, and that's mean I want you all to succeed. My goal in this is to give you the harsh vegetables of truth rather than the candies of lies so that you can get a job. And that does mean I may have to be a little mean. What we need for a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, influencing stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. This is huge. A lot of people mess up by thinking that in any job they're going to do, they're going to be only entirely technical and talking to your peers. No, in almost every single job you're going to have, you're going to be dealing with Bob. Bob controls your salary. You will face 1,000 Bobs in your life in the corporate world. Bob may be kind, Bob may be mean, Bob may be completely average, but Bob does not know your industry. Bob cannot understand anything, and you have to teach somebody who cannot turn on their monitor what a Monte Carlo simulation is for. So I need to see that you can explain technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. How you solved a problem with data, not what the data is. This is the biggest hang up that data analysts get, is they talk all about how they got the data when nobody cares how you got the data. If you threw darts at a dartboard and it was accurate, we're cool with that. We care what you do with the data. Then I need to see MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, and MS Office and Word. Yes, it's required. Yes, it's basic, but a resume is for the basics. Then Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines. And that is what we need. Also, this person committed another grievous sin. They are applying for data analysts, data engineers, and analytics engineers. Those are all different jobs. If your resume is tailored to multiple job titles, you will fail. You need to make multiple resumes for multiple job titles. This person should have 1 resume for a data analyst, 1 for a data engineer, and 1 for an analytics engineer, because the requirements for each of those are different enough that a phenomenal data analytics resume will get you rejected from a data engineer job. So I'm only reviewing this as a data analytics resume. This person may be the most fantastic data engineer, but that doesn't matter. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for hamburgers, which I'll explain in a bit. So recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need. So 20 seconds is on the clock. Let's see if I can find it, which probably not, because they take some over 150 applications, not get an interview. So away we... Oh my gosh, my stuff is... Now we go. And go. Okay, formatting's bad. Reporting system, commute track KPIs, only manual reporting filled with hot dogs. SQL, automatically flag, KPI, hot dogs, 2 hamburgers. Identified high-value customer segments. This doesn't matter. Garbage, doesn't matter. Time. All right. Yeah, I know why this person is getting rejected. Their resume is garbage. That doesn't mean they're garbage. It means their resume is garbage. So here's why I said a couple of things. First off, I said they had hot dogs and not hamburgers. If I can figure out how to do the timestamps, you can look below to skip this metaphor. So what is a hot dog in hiring? I want you to imagine that you go to a restaurant and you say, I would like a singular hamburger. The waiter says, all right, singular hamburger coming right up. And they say, well, before that, do you want a hot dog? And they say, you say, no, I want a hamburger, not a hot dog. They say, all right, hamburger coming right up. So the waiter goes back to the kitchen and brings you a plate of 3 hot dogs. And you say, I said I didn't want a hot dog. I wanted a hamburger. Why are you bringing me hot dogs? The waiter would say, well, if you think about it, a hot dog has meat like a hamburger, a hot dog has buns like a hamburger, and a hot dog can't have the same like ketchup, mustard, and mayo just like a hamburger. So I assure you, these are the best hot dogs you ever had in your life. And when you said hamburger, you really wanted a hot dog. You would look at them like they were crazy and you would walk away without paying, which is the exact problem I have with this. This stuff is a hot dog. Snowflake, hot dog. KPIs, hot dog. Data quality frameworks that flagged abnormalities in KPIs, hot dog. Defined for customer engagement KPIs, hot dog. None of that is what I'm looking for. It is adjacent to what I'm looking for. It has the same products of what I'm looking for, but it is not what I'm looking for. And if you do not give them hamburgers, they do not move forward. So they also committed another sin of these are really bad bullet points. Recruiters are not keyword hunting. There is a common misconception that recruiters are keyword hunting. And that is false. You know what? Let me take that back. Recruiters that have been like 3 months in the job may keyword hunt, but it's something that if you stay in the industry, you learn not to do. So new recruiters keyword hunt. So what is a keyword? A keyword is what the hiring manager needs. Recruiters do not make these. This is not what recruiters make. The hiring manager makes this. The person who actually decides if you get the job or not. Bob is the one that makes this. So Bob decides that you need SQL, data visualization, and influencing stakeholders. That is what a keyword is. It's what the hiring team needs. What a qualification is what you've done, how you've done it, why you've done it in a way that your grandparents could understand, and where you did it. And if it's not what, how, why, where, it does not count. And I want to bring focus to the why, because this is the part that people mess up on is I need to know the non-technical business reason you did it. That is what you need to say. I need to understand it with no knowledge of the technical industry at all. I need you to do that or else the manager is going to reject it. So while they did have almost every single thing I wanted in this skills section, guess what? It doesn't show me how you did it. It doesn't show me why you did it. And it doesn't show me where you did it. So this skills section might not have even existed. And thus, I don't find enough of these to move forward. And I need to find 75% of these, not counting the nice to haves. If you do not have 75% of these in your resume, you are not qualified. So their formatting is also bad. What we can do to fix the formatting is this. This is the formatting you want to use. This is what it's going to look like. It's in the link below. It's free. Every single person will want to use this formatting. The only exception is if you are a job hopper or a high level manager. If you're an HR, you use this formatting. If you're a software engineer, you use this formatting. If you're a lead software engineer, you use this formatting. If you're an accountant, you use this formatting. If you're a high level director of a company, you have to talk to me. I can give you the other format. So you need to use this formatting, which is why this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Stop making this. Stop making it harder to read. We only have 20 seconds. The harder it is to read your resume, the less I can do. So how would I fix some of these bullet points? Well, first off, my problem is I don't know what you've actually done. You built the team's first automated Snowflake reporting system to compute and track KPIs, limiting manual analysis and reducing reporting preparation time by 95%, enabling stakeholders to gather insights. What I need you to make that clear. Your grandmother couldn't understand that. I kind of can as a tech recruiter, but That's not good enough. I need this to be blindingly obvious. I want you to say, built a reporting system using SQL, MS Office, Python, and data visualization such as Tableau, Power BI, Looker to create a report that allowed our stakeholders to gather insights into the business. That sentence alone is better than the rest of this entire resume. That tells me what you did, which was SQL, data visualization, Excel, and Python, how you did it, and why you did it, which was to create a thing so that stakeholders could get insight into the company to make better purchasing decisions. That is what I want. But I in this resume, I don't see anything, right? I don't see SQL. I don't see data visualization, because remember, it's data visualization parentheses Tableau, Power BI, Looker. I don't see that you can influence stakeholders, and I don't see that you can explain technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. I do not want you to make a product that does it. I want you to verbally explain to Bob, who cannot turn on their monitor, why it is important that you developed a two-stage SQL. I missed it. The SQL framework. Why did you do that? I don't know. You didn't tell me. And if you don't tell me in the resume, I'm assuming you can't do it in real life, which means you are not qualified for the position. Then I need to know how you solved a problem with the data. I don't see it. So this resume needs to be deleted, because the only thing I found was SQL. And even then, you didn't. Why do I care that you reduced false alerts? What was the business impact of false alerts? Why do I care? I don't, because you didn't tell me why I should care. So the only things I really found here are Tableau, which I'm going to be like, Power BI, but you didn't really say data visualization first. You also said SQL, and that's it. You get Agile as extra credit. I'll keep Agile as extra credit, but I don't see that you can use Excel. But Lee, it's obvious if they can use SQL, they can use Excel. No, it's not. Baby recruiters make that mistake. If it's not directly stated on your resume, it does not exist. That is the rule. I don't make that up. That's not a Lee rule. That is an industry rule. If it is not on your resume, you can assume the person reading it thinks you do not have it. Always assume the worst. If there's any ambiguity in your resume, they will assume the worst because they think you are trying to hide something, because so many candidates do try to hide something. So I'm going to need you to be blindingly obvious and state that you used MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, and VLOOKUP, because nothing in here is implied. Then I'm going to need you to take a hammer and smash this resume into 3 resumes, 1 for data analyst, 1 for data engineer, and 1 for the other one that you said. I don't remember off the top of my head. Data something, or analytics engineer, because those are 3 different resumes and you tried to combine them, which is why this resume has 0 things I need. Also, stop with the numbers for all that is holy. Your resume does not need numbers besides your dates of employment, the date of your graduation if it was less than 3 years ago, and your phone number. If you do not need any numbers in your bullet points, your bullet points should not include numbers. It makes it worse. You analyze 270K social media interactions. Who cares? That's garbage. That doesn't matter. 13% higher user engagement based on what? Was there 10 users and you got 1 extra person? Or were there 1 million users? I don't know. There's no context. It does not matter unless you're in sales or a manager. If you do leadership bullets or sales, you need numbers. If you do not do leadership or sales, no numbers. Like from The Incredible, in fact, The Incredibles had a scene where Edna said no capes, and they see a bunch of heroes get sucked into wind turbines because they wore capes. That's the exact same problem people have with numbers. It looks cool to you. It's a detriment and is going to end up harming you and potentially ending your career. Stop putting these numbers in. No one cares that you backfilled 900 million rows. Who cares? That's not relevant. No one cares that you automated 2 million data loads or 95%. What does it mean that you eliminated manual analysis and reducing report preparation time by 95%. How do you even measure that? That doesn't matter. So I need you to make it simple. I need you to make it basic. And I need you to remember the what, the how, the why, the where. And if it's not what, how, why, where, and it doesn't contain a minimum of 3 keywords and a maximum of 6, it shouldn't be in your bullet points. That is what you need to do to make your resume not get continuously rejected. Because right now, this person is sad. They are sad. I do not want them to be sad. I want them to be happy. So follow my advice. Get a 1 in 7 application to interview ratio so that you can turn that frown upside down. And yeah, anyway, so before we go to the next resume, which are going to be 4 more, I just want to say to my members who are watching, thank you so much. I could not do this without you. Your membership allows me to do this for everybody else, and you keep the lights on in this business. So thank you very much for your financial support. And if anybody wants to be able to support this channel, you also get access to videos early, and you can look at the past live streams that I have done, which is where I record all this stuff, by joining in the link below to become a member. So thank you very much to my members for keeping this channel alive. And if you ever need any more help, if you're a member or not a member, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And yeah, that's where I do it. Just type in !raffle and you will be entered to a free contest to win a free resume review. I do not charge for any of my advice, so everything is free. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So this person has a 1 in 10, which immediately you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is a phenomenal resume. And then I dug deeper and I found out why they have a 1 in 10, which is they are in Poland. And Poland's job market is for software engineers is incredibly good. This person is in one of the better job markets for software engineers in the world. This is like the US in 2015. This would not fly in the US. This would not fly in a lot of other places. And in fact, them getting a 1 in 2 and the job market that they're in, it actually means this resume is bad. Probably not delete it completely bad, but this is probably the equivalent of a 1 in 75 in the US. So like a D+ or a D- resume. By the way, my advice does work outside the US. My advice works in the US, in Canada, in Mexico, in the UK, in the EU, in Africa, and I believe, and in India, and I believe in Singapore. There is one place in the Asia area, and I don't remember which place. I think it was Singapore. The one place my advice doesn't work is the Netherlands. So if you're in the Netherlands and you're looking for advice, I am unable to help you because they do things so incredibly different from the rest of the world. But this is what we're looking for in a full stack software engineer. We are looking for degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, SQL, any, Cloud, any, backend, any, React or React Native, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Look at me. But Lee, everybody, no. Every job is asking for TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. If you do not include it, remember the rule, it is assumed you do not have it. It does not matter that X means Y. It doesn't matter that you have done, that TypeScript implies. All that matters is that you state directly that you have done TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. If you do not, you are going to get rejected. It needs to be in the first line. Then Git or GitHub, CI/CD, Agile or DevOps, and extra credit for AI tools. Number of users if you built the infrastructure, cross-functional, and development tools. So their list in Poland should be mostly same to this. Again, it's not going to be a 1-to-1 translation, but it is close enough to get them more interviews. So 20 seconds is on the clock, which, by the way, in Poland, they can spend more than 20 seconds. If the job market is good enough, they probably spend about 40 seconds to a minute and a half on every resume, which really can change how you view a resume because their job market is that good. I was actually really shocked. I didn't know their job market was that good in Poland for software engineers. Again, if you want to know what it's like to be a software engineer in 2015, apply in Poland. So 20 seconds is on the clock, which again, I could get more because it's in Poland. And go. First use of programming, and this doesn't matter. Developed a functional Next.js with MongoDB and secure OAuth. Hot dog. Featuring disabled backend, doesn't matter. Engineers probably fix the feature map Google API. Again, probably doesn't matter. Competed in the Super game, finishing in the top 10. Coded, but what did you do here? I don't know. Python is good though. And again, because it's Poland, I get another 20 seconds. So let's add another 20 on the clock and go. This doesn't really count. Projects, a multi-agent simulation using Go and PostgreSQL. And that's actually really good. I want more about that. Building a Discord bot with Stripe, MongoDB, Next.js, and time. Yeah, I understand why you are getting not enough interviews. So first things first, use this formatting, right? You do want to use this formatting. Second thing is, you don't really tell me enough of what I need, right? Like, remember, I need to know what, how, why, where. Summaries don't count, right? This does not count. Also, you have education. Yeah, you've got... Wait, you're currently enrolled in school? You're not a junior, though. You're Are you looking for an internship? I'm actually really confused by this because you haven't graduated. And this was been only for a year, and then this was at the same time. This is not experience. This is a project. Wait, so you were doing these two concurrently? That looks bad. In fact, I would definitely not put that in because this looks bad. You don't want to show overlapping dates of experience. And I'm very confused as to why you even stated you have 6 years experience when you only have no, never mind. That's not overlapping. I misread. No, it is. Yeah, you 2 June to 25. Why? Why are these overlapping? You don't have 6 years experience. You don't have any years of experience because you haven't graduated yet. This resume is really confusing to me. This is how good the Polish market is. So, and again, the MongoDB probably doesn't matter. I'm so confused by why you stated you had 6. You have different languages, which is good. I do like that. But yeah, the rest of this doesn't matter. Like, I want you to focus on this, right? And I want you to let me know how you did it and why you did it. And if you said developed a full stack prototype using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS to fetch user data from Google API so that our company could X, I would like it. But this entire resume is very confusing to me. Like, you say you have 6 years, you don't even have a year. You haven't graduated yet, but you have a 6-month contract, which maybe that's how good it is in the Polish market. But again, and then you list this stuff, but you don't really list enough of what I said. I don't see where AWS is or GitHub. I need it. I want you to follow my guide because you should be, even with your level of experience, getting about a 1 in 5 to a 1 in 4, even as a newbie. But your resume doesn't show anything. Your resume shows multi-agent, which is fine, but I don't see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I don't see RESTful APIs. I don't see SQL. I did see Python, but again, it's down here, which is the confusing part. And I think I saw Git somewhere. I just don't see enough. Oh, I just messed my hair up. Yeah, I just don't see enough. This resume is mostly blank. You have submitted a mostly blank paper with bad formatting. If you were not in the Polish market, you would probably be getting like 1 in 500 or something. I want you to be able to fix this because you should be getting more interviews. Your market is that good. So that's all I can do with this is I just don't find anything I need. Next resume. This is a resume of a data engineer. What do we need for a data engineer? We need Python, ETL or ELT, SQL, and then cloud in its words. So AWS S3, or I really don't know what they are for like GCP or Azure, but the equivalent of that. Then I need to see data X, so like data lakes, data models, data. Then the ability to manage and communicate technical plans to non-technical people. You will notice that is a bit of a theme in tech jobs is you need to show that you can communicate to non-technical people. There are Bobs everywhere. You will never escape Bob. Then meet multiple deadlines, big data, so Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, or Git. And then the industry you're in, so like SDLC, and then rare but nice to have is Tableau, Power BI, AI, ML, BigQuery, Snow, and CI/CD. So 20 seconds is on the clock. This is a bad but not the worst resume. They have a 1 in 75, although they've only applied to like 150 jobs, so they need to apply to more, but that's not the worst ratio. So I'm expecting to find some things I like, but not quite enough. So 20 seconds is on the clock. Boop, and go. No, where's your degree? Okay. Well, okay, I see why you did that. Built a ingestion layer for 3 APIs, achieving zero duplicates. No. Hot dogs. Hot dogs. Well, that's just a bad Y. This is a hot dog. And time. I see why this gets a 1 in 75. They have some of the stuff, right? They have some of the keywords, but they don't explain how they used it. And that is, well, what the problem is. If you don't explain how you used it, it's not going to count. This person, see, I don't think they have a CS degree, which I understand why they didn't do it. So if you don't have a CS degree, then you should put it at the bottom instead of the top. But my problem with this is you show that you cannot communicate this to a non-technical person based on writing this. Like, what is delivered clean decision-ready insights from New York City complaints by resolving and duplicating records via a 3-day loopback incremental fact table surfaced through a Streamlight dashboard? Whoa? I don't know. You didn't really tell me. Like, I get you did insights, but like, what? I don't understand it. And then ensured reliability across the pipeline, hitting DBT tests. Why did you do that? I don't know. So this is the case of someone who has most of the right keywords, but not the right qualifications. I want you to fix your formatting. Because you do not have a CS degree or equivalent, it is okay to put this at the bottom. Otherwise, I would say put it at the top. In fact, I would probably want you to put like certs at the top instead. But yeah, certs at the top. And then I want you to write these in a way that is understandable to a layman. I also want you to put in cloud here if you have it. That is pretty big. And show how you use like data lakes and stuff. I will say it looks like you are a self-taught dev starting out, which is very, 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 very difficult. Which I'm actually kind of imagining people interview you and then they find out you're a self-taught dev because they actually look at the thing down there and they might reject you, which is really tough right now. So mainly because you don't have any actual work experience and you don't have the degree. Like it's a real nightmare to be a self-taught dev unless you already have experience in the workplace. But the best hope for you is to start following my methodologies to make these sentences better. And again, I still need more. Like I need Kafka, I need Spark, I need Hadoop, I need cloud, and I need you to explain this in a non-technical manner. I need you to explain this stuff to somebody that doesn't know, right? Like I'd rather you said, used GitHub Actions, CI/CD. So used GitHub, comma, CI/CD. Sorry, let me redo this. Used Python, comma, GitHub, comma, CI/CD, comma, and AWS to create a easy to understand. See, I don't know what you did. I still don't actually know what you did. I guess an easy to understand. What did you do? Delivered insights. I guess to create a app that showed marketing insights so stakeholders could easily understand them. That is the best way to do it. But I will say, if you are a self-taught dev and you do not have like already experience as a self-taught dev, you are in for a very, 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 very rough start. It's just at least in the US, which I don't think this person is in, almost impossible to get in the current market. In your current market, it might be doable because the certs might count, but in the US, this would not count. But even then, I still need these bullet points down there. I still need to explain it in a non-technical manner, and I need you to be very clear and concise. Next resume. This is a front-end developer. This person said, before I changed your format, I had about 160 applications to about 5 screenings, which is pretty solid. That's actually not that bad at all. But this new resume is newer, and I've gotten 1 screening out of 15 jobs. So this new resume is even better than it was before and is getting them more interviews despite their other one being pretty solid. They have a 1-year career gap on the resume. It comes up often during the recruiting phase. I simply say it was part of a wide layoff that it went and then it went on a sabbatical. That's fine. Unless your gap is bigger than 2 years, you don't need to worry about your gap. You will get a question during the interview, but as long as you don't say anything crazy, like I got into a fist fight with everybody else and I punched out my manager, you're fine. Because yeah, some people answer that question like that. I'm not kidding. Some people answer those questions absolutely insane. So as long as you have a normal answer, you are fine. So I'm expecting this to be pretty solid. But what do we need for a front end? We need degree, portfolio, React, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, UI, UX, Angular, Next.js, Nuxt.js, or Node.js, REST APIs or API and AI, own the process to 0 to 1, communicated clearly with designers and product managers about what's feasible and what isn't. Again, you have to kind of like control the entire process and push back on managers, because sometimes people would be like, okay, so what we want for this design is it will literally pop out in real life and hand you a hot dog, literally make a hard light copy of what's on the screen. You'll be like, that's not scientifically possible. So, and then extra credit is software development kits, Vue, Scrum, Agile, and a backend language, which I did not make a typo this time. I have another one where it was SKD instead of SDK. So, like I said, I'm expecting this to be pretty solid. Let's see what I can find in 20 seconds and go. All right, degree, got it. React, TypeScript, JavaScript, to make an failure, testing process, failure analysis time. Okay. Design and developed a real-time interface for platforms using REST API, WebSockets, for integrated application to testing code version, improving software reliability. Make sure not to direct architecture. Pretty like it. If design a real component to it. And time. This is why good formatting matters. How far down was I able to go? All the way down here. That's quite farther than most people's first sentences. So there are some flaws with this, but overall, I like it, okay? I do like most of it. First off, there is a slight issue in formatting. If you notice that there's too big of a gap here, there should not be this big of a gap here. I think you added an extra space when there should not have been a space. Second off, your education should be up top. You have a CS degree. Having a degree is usually part of the requirements. Your education should be up at the top. You don't need to tell me when you graduated. You can just say status graduated. That's fine. But I do need to see that you did graduate. So your education should be at the top. There should not be this gap between here. And that is almost all the formatting issues. The other one is there should be a bigger gap between here, no gap between here. And then there should be a bigger gap between here, no gap between here. If you notice, it's straight into it here, slight gap straight into it. But again, those are very minor issues overall. On to the actual bullet points. I like most of them. I just think you went a little bit too much. Remember, no numbers. Numbers are bad. They make it worse. You do not want numbers. To detect semiconductor chip failures earlier during the stress testing process is fine. I don't actually know if I need the reduced. Like, I think you can just end this at build a manufacturing analytics dashboard using React, TypeScript, HTML, and CSS to detect semiconductor chip failures earlier during the stress testing process. Cool. That's it. That's explanation. I don't need the numbers. This is pretty solid. This is all I need. And then built and developed a real-time web interface tester platform. I don't need the number here. Using REST APIs good, and WebSockets, maybe a hot dog to monitor equipment performance, remote control testing. My only problem with this is it has only one keyword that I'm really looking for when I want a minimum of 3, a maximum of 6. So like you could probably put REST APIs in somewhere else. Then integrated React, you don't want to double up on the same keyword in the same job. Sometimes you're forced to, so if you have to, which this might be the case, don't freak out, but it should be that one key, the same keyword should not be duplicated in the same job. It can be duplicated in other jobs. So implemented again, React, we already have that, into a Git-based good Jenkins CI/CD pipeline, which again, I want a little bit more into that. Automated testing, code compliance, and Azure services. Again, that's kind of mostly a hot dog. I feel like this is like mostly extra credit, right? Like this entire thing is mostly extra credit. So I give that like a half a point, right? So I want a little bit more. And then this, again, you mentioned React. You already mentioned TypeScript. And then this, you have UI, which is good. But I'm kind of missing that you own the... Well, you know, you said led the migration. This does imply you own the process, so that actually counts as one. From zero, but I don't see that it does it from 0 to 1. And I don't really see that you can communicate with designers and product managers about what's feasible and what isn't. And I am missing Angular, Next, Nuxt, or Node. You don't need all of those, but I would like one of those. Like if you don't have any of those, that's a bit of a bad thing. So I do want to see Angular, Next, Nuxt, or Node. Other than that, one keyword here, it's not bad. Like I see why this is getting a 1 in 15 and why you previously were getting about a 160 and 5. Your explanations are mostly good. Which again, this is why it's so important to put these in a basic understanding that people could understand it. I want you to tighten it up. So this is not a delete this. This is not the worst resume ever, but you can definitely tighten this up. You can add a couple of more keywords to these sentences. You can make the whys a little bit more understandable to the layman. You can remove some of these extra things, and you can move the education to the top and fix some parts of the formatting. So I would not be shocked if this kept getting you a 1 in 15 to a 1 in 20, but I want to get you a 1 in 7. And to do that, those are the changes we need to make. Next resume. This is an abomination. Never ever do more than 1 columns. I have never seen more than 1 columns be better in any type of resumes. Your resume should only be 1 column. So this is a full stack dev. We know what this is. They say their ratio is a 1 in 100, which can happen. I want to let everybody know formatting is important, but like the only purpose of formatting is so we could read it, and you can pass with bad formatting. If your bullet points are good, then your formatting doesn't matter as much. But the better your formatting, the better your chances. So again, the entire purpose of formatting is how far down we can read. So I would always rather bad formatting than bad bullet points, because you can get a job with bad formatting. You can't get a job with bad bullet points. So they are a TypeScript dev. This is tailored to full stack roles. I don't have any .NET C# experience. I don't have any formal employment history, but I've built and maintained a live web app with a small user base for 3 years. Okay. Well, let's see what we do in 20 seconds. Away we go. Oh, gosh, no about section, no highlights, no skills section, education. Okay, good. You did have it. Good. Let's see. Build a full stack finance tracker with TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS using Common Query to manage account categories, balance, enable user to track spending. Wow, that's a phenomenal bullet point. Developed authentic backend data operations with time. Gosh, I actually really love that bullet point. That's actually a fantastic bullet point. You want to know why you're getting a 1 in 100? It's because that bullet point is fantastic. I don't know if I actually have any notes on that one singular bullet point. Again, you don't want this though. Don't put this. Built a full stack personal finance tracker with TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React, and Next.js using convex, hot dog, queries, and mutations. In fact, this whole thing could be removed in the categories. But yeah, this part could be removed. This is actually the thing. Enabling users to track spending and income in a single responsive web app. This is how you write your non-technical why. Build a full stack with TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS using TypeScript, JavaScript, blah, 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 enabling users to track spending and income in a single responsive web page. That's great. I love that. You just need to get rid of what's in red. That's fine. I love that. The problem is you just tripped over the formatting. This formatting is so incredibly awful that it almost made me miss that. So I want you to take this and I want you to make it one single column. And I was right. This person in chat said their resume goes to almost 2 pages. And I asked them, well, how many years of experience? And they said only about 1.5. And I'm like, okay, then while page length doesn't matter because it kind of doesn't, you're probably fluffing your resume with stuff we don't need. And I was right. None of this is needed. Not a single thing is needed here. The education is, which you can't even see. So you need to follow this format. You need to delete this, right? This doesn't matter. You need to delete this because this doesn't matter. And then keep this amazing sentence the way it is. Then we get to the rest of this, and this is too technical, and it's a hot dog. Then it's this, which is design post-query tables with SQL. You already mentioned that. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. Good Y, though. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. So again, I need a minimum of 3 keywords per sentence. This only has 1. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Yeah, like I almost could not imagine a more perfect one for this because you need a minimum of 3, a maximum of 6. So that is good. This needs more keywords. But again, I like the why. The why is good, which is to keep users' financial record structured or safe. Again, maybe I want a little bit more than structured. And then GitHub CI/CD. Okay, good. That one's good. Custom build command from reaching production. Yeah, that's also a good why. Your formatting is the main issue. You're having issues here. This is, I'm kind of upset I didn't review this first, but this is not, again, this is a case of awful formatting, fantastic bullet points. I think you had better bullet points than almost anyone else in this stream or in this video so far. So, and again, even here, configured production deployment safeguards with GitHub, good. CI/CD, good. Bun, hot dog, TypeScript, you already mentioned. So that's 2. To build command and requiring passives checks, again, that this is a hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. Before merge to prevent, in here you can put this, to prevent broken or unsafe code from reaching production. That's the good one. So you need more of these. You need to fix your formatting. And I am missing a backend language. Any backend language I need. It could be Java, could be Python, could be C#.net. I do need one. Then I also need Cloud if you have it. Cloud is pretty big. If you don't have Cloud and you don't have a backend language, you can still get a job, but it's probably not going to be a 1 in 7. It's going to be like a 1 in 20 to a 1 in 25. Just because Cloud is that important and so is the backend language. But again, you actually wrote a lot of this well. The horrible formatting, really good bullet points. So make those changes, add a little bit more stuff, and then write this thing like it as well. But no, you also tell me here, REST via TypeScript to improve content discovery. Great. You're almost there. I don't think fixing this will take a long time. You are almost there. So that is it for this resume. And that is it for this video. I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. And to my members, thank you for your support. I could not keep this channel alive without you. Your financial support lets me keep this channel going. So thank you very much. And if anybody wanted to support the channel financially and get access to videos early and my past live streams, you could do so in the link below and be a member. It really helps me out. And if you ever need your resume reviewed, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headless headhunter and right here on YouTube. And anybody, members or no, I will review your resume. Just type !raffle into the chat. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.